Hi guys, it's Phaedra. How are you? From Phaedra Beauty. I have a guest again. This is Valerie Noble. She is a makeup artist, celebrity makeup artist, and she's been in the game for a long time, you guys. So again, she is a peer of mine. We both work in the industry. I don't know if some of you guys knew that about me, but today we're going to be talking to Valerie Noble. So I guess my first question is, Valerie, how did you get started in the beauty or slash makeup entertainment industry? So kind of give us a little backstory of how you got into it. For anybody who's new, who wants to be a makeup artist, who wants to be a celebrity makeup artist, who wants to work in the entertainment industry, we're going to talk about that today. So,
okay, so long story, but I was in the Bay Area,
which is Northern California.
Northern California, we call it the Bay.
Oh, the Bay.
For many years, and I am a licensed hairstylist. So for many years, I had my own salon in the Bay Area. Years prior to that, I had lived in Los Angeles, and I used to work for a chain called Supercuts.
Supercuts?
Yeah. And
they're still around, right?
They're still around.
Yeah,
they're still around.
Okay.
But when the original owners had it, it was a nice chain. So I worked for Supercuts down here in Los Angeles in the late 70s, and then moved back up to the Bay Area.
Say that with pride, girl. Shoot. We know we've been around for a while. We're seasoned. She's seasoned, okay? Late 70s.
Moved to Oakland, Bay Area for a good 17 years. And I always wanted to come back to LA because I just love the weather. And I always had, mind you, I'm a hairstylist with my own salon. Mm-hmm. I always thought that I wanted to get into doing hair on TV.
Okay.
Because I'm a TV junkie. I love TV. I grew up watching TV. I still watch a lot of TV and movies. Mm-hmm. So I thought, oh, if I could get back to LA, then I could start doing hair on TV.
So that was your desire, to be a hairstylist on television?
Yes.
Okay.
So then I just decided, I've had enough of the Bay Area, and I moved down with 2 other friends.
Okay.
And my idea was, if I come to Los Angeles, I don't want to be just another person with, you know, a hair kit saying, oh, I do makeup. And I didn't really even makeup. Hair, I didn't even understand how the industry worked. I had no idea.
Okay.
But I knew that if I would get a rental space, so my idea was to get a warehouse and have a space where people could come and do videos. They could shoot videos, shoot photography, whatever. Then I would meet a lot of people that were behind the scenes. And that's exactly what I did. What? I had a live-work space in Burbank, in North Hollywood, on Burbank Boulevard for 10 years. And that's what we did, is we had all kinds of people that came and did little short movies. They did infomercials, commercials. I met a lot of photographers, had all kinds of magazine cover shoots. A lot of stuff came through there, and that's kind of what gave me the inside, behind the scenes on how to break into the industry.
So that's very innovative. That's very, very smart. So now, because you did the rental space, how did you get those contacts? Like, was it word of mouth? You just kind of told people this is what you're doing? Like, how did they know to find you?
Yeah, the rental space, I guess there must have been a couple of, like, back page, or there were some places that we put ads at first. Okay. And then the rest of it was all, my business has always been word of mouth.
Right.
You do a good job.
This was waiting for social media.
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
so.
It's always been word of mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
So you tell a few people, and you only need a handful of people to keep you going, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been word of mouth. So it's basically, word of mouth, the inside industry, and then people would pass it along once they came through and they loved the space. And then we stayed busy. We always had people. Then I met my favorite photographer. I was bringing his name up. At that time, I was still just only doing hair. I get it confused.
Okay.
I had in the rental space, I also had a little 2-chair salon. So I would also do hair, you know, for the photo shoots or whatever. And I would have to get a makeup artist, because at that time I was building my book. Back then, you needed a book, a big portfolio with your images.
I remember those.
So I would always have to get a makeup artist, and they always did makeup like too much, too heavy.
Too heavy.
So I complained to a girlfriend of mine who was a model, and she said, "I'll practice on me. You know how to do hair color, so I'm sure you can do makeup." So I taught myself how to do makeup and started doing makeup in addition to hair. And then I met my favorite photographer as he rented space from my studio, Dimitri Loiseau. You might know his name because we're pretty connected now for the last 17 years. We've done a lot of stuff together. But we met, and then we just started shooting all kinds of people. That's kind of how we started. We just, lots of models. And then slowly but surely I started meeting people in the industry, and I did a couple of small movies. Because there's so many areas to go into in this industry. You could. It's not just about doing makeup in front of the camera for interviews or TV. Or there's movies, there's infomercials, there's commercials, there's a lot of different things you can do.
Exactly.
And you have to figure out what part you like.
Right. I remember when I first came here, you know, of course, the main thing was film.
Yes.
And I found out fast, it's not my favorite thing to do.
I know.
You know, I mean, I dabbled in it a little bit, but I was like, I don't really like film that much.
Yeah,
you know?
I drug my feet a long time. I recently have gotten into film because I do somebody who now insists that I do them for film.
She does an A-lister. We're not going to name names, but she does a very A-lister.
And I'm actually, you know, doing her, it's been wonderful. But yeah, you have to figure out what niche you want. My favorite niche was magazines, red carpet.
Okay.
You know,
red
carpets really, and magazines. So
I think mine was print too.
And
I enjoyed print.
Me too.
Yeah, because you can be so creative.
And
you don't have somebody breathing down your neck talking about what's your ETA, where's your ETA.
Well, I mean,
that's the time of arrival.
Yeah, you have to kind of be quick. You have to kind of know your stuff. I started, when I really first started getting connections, I started doing press junkets. Okay. So there used to be companies, there used to be...
so tell them what press junkets are.
So a press junket is whenever you see like KTLA and a star comes on and says, oh, you know, I've done this movie.
KTLA is our a news station here in LA.
Yes. So, and they interview somebody. Well, actually, that's kind of no. The entertainment person goes on and says, "Oh, we just saw this so and so movie, and I interviewed so and so for this movie." They literally will take the stars to a hotel and have all the journalists come, and then they interview the stars. They all take turns interviewing the stars. So
if you see something like Entertainment Tonight or Access Hollywood, if you see like an interview with the host of the show and a celebrity, that's a press junket.
That's a press junket.
That's a press junket. So it depends on what medium it is, because it could be, different. It could be an online show. Yes. Or so whoever's interviewing them at the time of the host is, you know, they just go from room to room to room
and get interviewed by various hosts, and then those hosts go back to their stations and play those interviews. Right. And that's the little snippet you'll see on the TV show. Right. So they always have a little barrage of hair and makeup people to touch up the people who are being interviewed. Right. So I did that that's kind of my big break into getting into doing makeup with a kit, like actually using the skills that I taught myself, and started doing makeup with a kid. I'm self-taught too. Yeah, I really am. I mean, actually, that is like the wave now. You know, because when you go like on YouTube, you see a lot of people that are doing just makeup on themselves. And for those that want to branch out and start doing like other people are doing, like in the entertainment industry, or you know, bridal or celebrities, whatever, you know, doing it on yourself is a good way to get started. But of course, you want to make sure you know different complexions, different undertones, different, you know, if you're going to do, let's say if you're African American, you want to make sure you know somebody who is white or Latino or Asian. You want to make sure you know all those different types of skin colors. The reality too is that in order to be good, you have to spend time doing a range of people.
Yes.
Because black folks don't come in one shade.
No.
White folks don't come in one shade.
No.
There's lots of corrections that you have to do on light skin, dark skin. So you have to do a lot of people. And
right.
Doing makeup on yourself does not allow you to do that. And people who call themselves celebrity makeup artists who only do their own makeup, it's kind of not true.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
They're not celebrity makeup
No,
artists.
it's not going to happen. And if you notice too, most celebrities do not do their makeup the way the Instagram or
no.
They wear very light makeup.
No.
It's makeup that doesn't look like makeup. They don't want to look like they
right.
made up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really the trick.
Because, you know, a lot of times when we see makeup that's on YouTube and the YouTube tutorials, whatever, or like on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, it's a lot of heavy contouring and highlighting, which is fine, but that's not what you're going to do for TV and film.
No,
that's not the look that, you know, that's not the look.
You have to practice. It's more even practicing from bridal to coming with, it's an easier transition because, you know, you can't really go crazy on bridal either. Most bridal. Yeah.
No. I mean, and the one thing, when I do consultations with brides, I let them know this is something that's going to be classic.
Yes.
You want this picture, you want to look down 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, show your kids, and it's timeless. It's going to be a classic photo. You don't want it to where you're like doing the latest trend. I mean, like right now, you've got like the heavy lip line with like a lighter color inside, and that's a trend.
Yeah.
And 10 years from now, that's not going to be the trend.
And the thing is, most celebrities want exactly that. They want to be classic.
Right.
They don't want the trendy, you know, the young ones, you can get away with that, you know, and they'll go in and out. But for the most part, they want to be classy. And so, you know, if you're good at doing a nice, clean, light makeup, which I was always really good at, you get a lot of people asking for you, requesting for you, and stuff like that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I did junkets for years, which was so much fun because you get to also meet a lot of different celebrities that you wouldn't ordinarily get to meet, and then you also get to kind of work with other makeup artists because it's always fun to see what their tricks are. Everybody has a little bit different trick to doing things, and you know, different tools they like, or what's the latest in their kit, how do they organize their kit, things like that.
Gotcha.
So that was always fun.
Okay. So you started with the press junkets.
Yes.
Okay, and then
in the meantime, while I was doing the press junkets, I also still always had my own studio.
Okay.
So we were always doing different models. It started with models. And then the writer's strike hit. What was that?
Writer's strike.
And that was the people who write the scripts went on strike.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
I remember the writer's strike, like the first one.
Yes.
And we were talking about how when the writer's strike happened, that's when reality TV came in.
That's right. That took a toehold.
Yeah.
Because now you don't really need to have people who just show up how they look.
Right.
And that means all the people who were on regular TV shows, everything shut down. They were getting all the jobs all us freelance who weren't in the union would get. And so we were like dying on the vine kind of thing. So me and my friend, go back to my photography friend, Dimitri, I had a friend that used to rent studio space, and he had a magazine that he was doing, and it went defunct.
Okay.
Yeah, we tried it out. Dimitri was, he had Dimitri doing like the main photography, and we were using our connections because we had met quite a few people, and then he just disappeared on us. So Dimitri said, well, golly, what are we going to do now? I said, well, the only way we're going to have a good magazine, you can't work for anybody else, just do it ourselves. And by that time, the web world had changed so that you could self-publish and pretty much do your own thing online. Nice. You know? Nice. So 12 years ago we started Regard Magazine, and we made it online only because we knew that magazines were pretty much dying out. Yeah. And number two, it's a waste of paper. Yeah. And three, you know, the people that put out magazines now with phones, somebody will take all the pictures of your editorial and put it up, and nobody's buying the magazine anyway.
Right.
You know, not
Right.
really. So anyway, so we've been doing Regard Magazine for 12 years.
Okay.
And we've done a lot of Hollywood.
Hollywood
Yeah,
celebrities.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hollywood actors and actresses.
And so for that magazine, you're doing both hair and
I do
makeup.
hair and makeup.
Okay.
In the last 3 years, it's been a little dicey because I've been on the road doing movies.
Okay.
But yeah, for the first 9 years, I did all the hair and makeup.
Okay.
And all the issues.
Nice.
On all the editorials. So you can go on regardmag.com and check out, you know, it's free to check it out and see all the actors and people that we've done. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really great.
So from the press junkets to Regard Magazine, which is mainly like editorial celebrity.
Editorials, yeah, celebrity editorials.
Okay.
Yes.
I know you did film.
Yes.
Any television?
Yes, actually, I just finished the television show. We have a show that's on Apple TV now. So yeah.
Okay.
The actress I work with has a TV show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Third season. We just finished the third season.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay. And now, since you sounds like you've done like a nice genre of things when it comes to like hair and makeup, are you in the union?
That was one of my stipulations that if I always said this to myself, if I ever get in the union, I was going to be a celebrity request.
Okay.
Which means that they can request, there's a process. You can't just say,
right.
Yeah, you have to be with the celebrity a long time. And
there's different ways you can get into the union, but one of the ways she got into the union is a celebrity request.
Right.
Okay.
Which means you have to be working with them pretty much only for a long time, and you have to kind of be able to prove it before they will allow that celebrity to bring you in.
Did they change that? Because I think it didn't used to be you have to work with somebody for a long time.
Well, I mean, you can't just say, you looked at somebody and you work with them once or twice in a magazine and then they pull you. Yeah, you have to kind of prove that you've been with them. Not a long time, but been with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember it used to be like that.
Oh, okay.
I just remember it was like a celebrity request, but I didn't know if it was like if there was a certain time frame.
Yeah, because they're still trying to, because there's a process of getting into the union. You have to work a certain amount of days in a row for years. There's a certain.
That's the way I got in.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
I'm in, but I'm not in. Like I opted to go out because now I've got like my business. But the way that I got in is how you mentioned. Like I was working on a network, and I would have to work like so many days.
Yeah.
You have to save like your pay stubs.
Yeah.
And then you have to take your pay stubs into the union and show proof.
Yes.
So that's how I initially got into.
And that's still the way to get in.
Yeah.
That is the primary way to get in.
Right.
I just happen to,
She just happened to get the hook up.
Well, because I put that out to the universe.
Amen. Well, you know what? I put out in the universe too that I wanted to be into the union, which was years ago. So yeah, if you want something, you got to speak it.
Yeah,
you got to manifest that thing.
Yeah, you gotta put it out. So
yeah.
So I think I've been in like 3.5 years now, and it's been nice. Yeah, it's been fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Out of everything that you've done, you have a favorite genre?
Yeah, red carpet. Hands down, red carpet. I love doing someone for a major, award show or any kind of red carpet, or they're doing press for their movie or whatever coming out, and then you send them off, and then the pictures come back.
Nice.
That's my favorite thing is the red carpet.
Now, when you do red carpet, and I'm asking because I'm sure somebody may want to know this or they don't know this. Who's hiring you for the red carpet? Is it the celebrity, or is it like a company or a production company, or it could be both?
Most of the time it's the production company, because most celebrities are they have a budget that the production will work for, because press is part of the movie package. So they budget for that. So depending on who it is, some celebrities, they're too new or whatever, they don't really budget them enough, So the celebrity has to come out of their own pocket to pay you. But if you're working with a substantial celebrity, you get paid a pretty nice rate that the production company takes care of.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So she likes red carpets.
Yeah,
that's her thing.
Yeah. And magazine shoots. I love doing magazine shoots because normally on the magazine shoot I can do both hair and makeup.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I love
in the
that.
union, you are union as which one? Makeup or she's union?
I picked makeup.
She picked makeup because you can have a choice.
You have a choice.
Because if you know
but
how
you
to
have
do
to
both,
do one or the other.
Right, you can't do both.
On
can't
union
do both.
jobs, which
Right.
is most film and most TV are union jobs, and you have to do one or the other. Now, reality TV most of the time is non-union.
Right.
You can do both. And like some of the cooking shows and all that, they have hair and makeup, and they're usually not union. So then you can do both.
And FYI, if you know how to do both, when you go into the union, usually when it comes to the rates, makeup pays more than hair. Usually.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because all the hair people I know make good rate.
Or are they like
they making more of what I make?
Are they like celebrity?
Yeah,
are they?
that's why.
That's why.
That's
well,
why.
that's why. That's why.
That's why all the people I know are doing A-listers. Yeah, and they make it grip.
But usually, if it's like
the hair people,
when you're doing different departments, like you've got the hair department and you've got like the makeup department. The makeup department gets paid just a little bit.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless they changed it.
Yeah.
Because I've been out of the loop for a minute, but I mean, I just remember, it from what I remember, because I remember a friend of mine, she does hair and makeup. And I had asked her to work with me on something, and I said, well, which one do you want to do? She said, I said, do you want to do, hair and makeup? She said, how much? Well, she chose to be the department head of hair. Because that paid more than being an assistant makeup artist or second makeup artist.
Yeah, because she was DP.
Department head. So, but yeah, usually makeup pays a little bit, just a little bit. Not that much, but usually, from what I remember, unless I'm wrong on my knowledge now.
Wow.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. The pay is what you get on red carpets are what they call day rates. So, and it's considered a 10-hour day. So you decide, and they decide whatever rate they're going to accept from you. Magazines don't really pay.
Magazines and editorial.
Editorial is for you to build your portfolio. And Vogue cover, it doesn't matter. They only pay like $250, maybe $350 now. That's it.
Yeah, back in the day it was like about $200, $250.
Yeah. So yeah, I just did a magazine cover for something, and it was $350.
Just so you guys know.
That's it.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
But it can build your resume.
That's what happens.
So
yeah, it builds your resume. Yeah.
It'll be a nice little something for you to kind of like show. So, but are they still doing resumes?
Well,
I'm sorry, portfolios.
I don't think nobody's showing a book anymore. Everything's online.
Right.
Everything's online.
Instagram.
So yeah. Well, I wouldn't even say Instagram. If you're serious about being a makeup artist, you need your own website.
Right.
You gotta have a website under your name with your stuff on it. Because Instagram, everything on Instagram that you post, Instagram owns it. You don't own it. And then whenever they want to shut down or take away half of your likes, or because they do that, they purge and do whatever, they have a right to do that. And you're also giving them a right to utilize your pictures. So the only way to get around that is you really need your own separate website.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yes, start building like a website, and you can kind of build your portfolio with that. And let's see what else for the ones who want to have a, I guess I kind of want to focus on you. I was gonna say if you want to, I'm thinking more so like, because I get questions asked about like my makeup line, like how can I start a makeup line?
That's tricky. If you don't have a famous name and you're not, Ariana Grande or whatever, and even those big names, the makeup lines don't work. Makeup is trickier. People think they can just slap their name on a makeup line, which you can do. Very easy.
Yeah.
But you have to imagine that you have to have warehouses full of stuff. You have to get stuff. it's trickier to do a makeup line. It would be easier to take a makeup line that you like, one of your favorites, and be the face of. That's something that's already existing.
Yeah.
You know, unless you've been in the business like Phaedra's been in 20 years doing her own makeup line.
Yeah.
That's different. And she's done the research on, you know, what the products are and what they do. And you can't just, yeah. It's trickier doing your own makeup line. It can
be done.
Yeah.
It can be done. I always tell people,
you have the experience though, and you've been doing it for a while, you know?
Yeah, I do.
And you started too before the arena was so crowded. It's so full of, it's so saturated.
Yeah.
But you still have a niche market because you're still offering stuff that's not out there.
Right.
You still have colors that, you know, nobody really gets that you can get together, which I think is a nice time for you to show her pro palette.
I started custom blending.
Yes,
so, you know, like I was saying, even though I wanted to interview Valerie, I still wanted to talk about the industry and if you are coming into this space, you know. So, okay, so we're gonna shine the light on my makeup line right now, my little shameless plug. But yes, so I have these palettes, and I've got two. It is light and dark. I'm going to show the light one first.
Yes.
Comes with like a nice little boxing. Okay. And this is what the actual palette looks like. Once you open it up.
Look at that. Amazing. All the colors you need for anybody that's pale to a dark tan.
And then this is
in one palette.
In one palette.
And then the second palette goes from dark tan to chocolate.
Yes.
In one palette.
So this is my dark palette.
Yes.
Which is this here.
Yes.
Okay. And like I mentioned, so it's the two colors. The light has like the white binders. That's why I separate them. And then my dark palette has my black.
Smart. I love
So this is in your kit and you're like just kind of looking, really trying to pull real fast. Just know the light palette has the white binders and then the dark palette has the black binders. So I don't think I mentioned that like on my Instagram page, but that is the difference if it's in your kit.
Yeah.
So, but yes, and I actually custom blend these colors. Every single color I customize and custom blend and made by hand. So, which is another thing that kind of separates me from a lot of others. Because, you know, when I started, it was not much for someone of darker complexion.
Right.
You know, I think it was just a few, like Revlon was out and they had like a few colors. I can't remember who else was out, but
Maybelline, and then everybody went to MAC, but MAC stuff got a little ashy. You know, MAC was the first one that kind of did colors that could really be tolerated by browner and darker skin. That's why everybody was wearing MAC.
MAC was so hot in the 90s.
Yeah, because they were the only ones that do the darker lipsticks and darker browns.
Yeah.
You know,
if some of you guys that are like maybe millennials that may not remember how hot MAC was,
MAC was it.
Woo! I remember walking past some of the stores and you literally could not even get to the counter. It was like so many girls around the daggone counter. I was like, this is insane.
It's insane.
And I remember I tried at least 3 times to get a job. I tried to get a job working for MAC and they didn't hire me.
Wow.
I swear I think I put in that resume like at least 3 times.
Aww.
Yep.
Oh,
well, forget them. I got my own now.
Yeah, that's right. That's what you had to do. That's what you had to do.
That's what I had to do.
Yes, indeed.
That's what I had to do. So, okay. So, trying to think of other ways if you're a makeup artist and you want to break into the industry. Okay, your own makeup line.
Well, the big thing is to break in, you have to it's about networking.
Yes.
So you have to go where other makeup artists are working. I would suggest too, also in order when, you know, because you're not always going to be working, but if you're networking with a lot of good makeup or hair people that are always working and you become friends, whenever they can't do a job, especially the busy ones, they pass it on to you, you know?
Yes.
So that's the real trick, is having a lot of friends that are doing makeup or doing what you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
because then they kind of, you all go along together, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And oddly enough, that's how I got like a lot of the celebrities that I've worked with,
Yes.
because
Someone
else, they were busy. They
That's
were like
right.
working in TV or film, and you know, they weren't available
Yes.
because maybe it was just like a one-time gig or
Right.
one time, you know, just for like the day or whatever. But for me, that one day turned into 7 years.
Yeah. Wow.
7 years working with this one celebrity.
Wow.
So yeah. So yeah, like she was saying, it is about networking.
It's about
you definitely want to
networking.
network.
Yes,
So
definitely.
yeah.
And then, you know, just make sure you stay on top of your, you know, craft. It's not about what's trendy. The real successful hair and makeup people know how to do classic and
Yes.
clean
Yes.
makeup. Keep
That's
your
so important.
keep your tools clean. Keep your, you know, and sanitize. Keep your kit looking nice and clean, and work clean, because you can always add more. You can always build makeup.
Right.
But if you can do a clean face and a nice, you know, blended foundation, people love you for that. If you
And-
start there, you're good.
And one thing I want to mention too is always be professional
Yes.
and try to show up on time. On time and professional, those two things will carry you so
Yes,
far.
yeah.
You know, because, you know, once you start working with like celebrities, you want to be respectful of their privacy,
Mhm.
of their time, you know, so you want to be as professional as you can. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So,
And what my thing is, on time is late. You always want to be 5 to 10 minutes early.
Right.
Always, always,
Right.
always, always. And one other tip is to understand, no matter how far you get with working with celebrities, you are not a celebrity.
Nope.
You're not them.
Nope.
Don't try to be them.
Nope.
You are always going to be the help, which is good. Stay in your lane, because that will carry you a long way.
And
Stay in your lane.
I always remember that, because it's like, you know, even though you're kikiing with them
Yes.
and you're having a good time, I'm like, you know what? You're you, I'm me,
Yeah.
and I still want to keep it professional,
You
because
have
like
to.
maybe they want to like go and hang out afterwards. I'm like, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
That, because it'll carry you a long way. What you don't realize is I know I'm still with the person I'm with after all these years, because I keep it separate.
Yeah.
You have to keep it separate.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Keeping it professional, keeping it separate will give you longevity.
And
Absolutely.
if you are working with a male celebrity,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, sometimes boundaries want to get crossed.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah, oh, yeah.
You know, and I mean, there's been some instances where, you know, relationships have come out of it. But if you know that's not where you're trying to go and what you're trying to, you want to definitely stay professional with that,
Mhm.
because, you know, lines could get blurred. You know
And
what I
I
mean?
wouldn't test